Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening, everyone. How are you? Okay, I hope you are safe and sound in your comfort home wherever you are, especially in times like this when we are facing the COVID-19 pandemic across the country. And as for the SPM 2020 candidates, I hope you are in your final phase of preparation for the big exam, which is taking place soon, inshallah, starting from 22nd of February 2021. Welcome to Delta Kedah's Final Countdown for SPM 119 Examination Series 1. Your host for today's slot is me, Teacher Jamie from SMK Kelibang, Langkawi. Okay, speaking as the representative of Delta, we hope this program will provide help for teachers not only in Kedah but also across Malaysia in preparing our dear students for their SPM exam. As for the students, we hope the series will benefit you the most, especially in terms of refreshing your knowledge and in giving you that last time juicy and extra tips before the exam. We have chosen the best speakers for the best results, inshallah. Okay, so without wasting any more time, let me introduce you the speaker for today's session, Mr. Muhammad Azham bin Amran from SMK Padang Terap. And Mr. Azham will be covering all the four poems, two Form 4 poems, The Living Photograph and The Charge of the Light Brigade, and another two Form 5 poems, A Poison Tree, and also What Has Happened to Lulu. Okay? Now let's have Mr. Azham with us. Okay, hello there, Mr. Azham. How are you?
Hello. Hi, Assalamualaikum, everyone. I'm good, Alhamdulillah. What about you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good too. Just a little bit nervous because this is my first time hosting such event, okay? But I hope everything else is fine, inshallah. Okay, so Azham, are you ready for tonight's session?
Inshallah, I hope I am ready.
Okay,
And don't worry, I think you're doing great.
I'm just a little nervous though. Okay, so is there anything you would like to say before we start?
All right. So, first of all, I would like to thank Darul Aman English Language Learning and Teaching Association, Delta, for allowing me the space to share through the first series for the Final Countdown SPM 1119 SPM examination series. Thank you so much to Mr. President, Mr. Zanurin bin Muhammad Safar, and the rest of the committee members. And also, I would like to thank the teachers, the candidates of SPM 2020 for joining us tonight for the session.
Yes. Oh, as we can see here, 118 people are watching. Alhamdulillah. I mean, that's a good number for a start. Okay. I hope more are going to watch us after this. Maybe they are still having their dinner, or maybe they just forgot. Okay. It's time for you teachers out there. If you are watching this, it's time for you to remind your students to tune in. I mean, this is the best opportunity. You don't have to teach them again in school. Just have to ask them to watch this. And then when we go to school tomorrow, we can just ask them to answer all the trial questions without having to, refresh them about all the poems. Azham will do it for us tonight. Okay, now, without wasting more time, I'm going to let Azham take over the screen, okay? Okay, Azham, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Teacher Jamie, for the introduction just now. Once again, hello everyone. My name is Mr. Muhammad Azham bin Amran. I'm teaching at SMK Padang Terap, Kedah. Okay, and thank you to everyone who joined us tonight for the session. So I do hope that I get to share some tips and techniques on how to master SPM, the question for the poem. All right, so. As you all know, we are streaming live via YouTube, Delta Kedas YouTube channel. Please subscribe. And also simultaneously, we are streaming also on Delta's Facebook page. So thank you to those of you who are streaming with us tonight. We really appreciate your support. All right. Before I go any deeper, let me introduce the rules and regulations for our session tonight. Okay. So I know we are in the comfort of our own home, but please remember, number one, please be prepared. I hope that you have at least a pen and a piece of paper to jot something down, all right? Because it will definitely help you, all right? And the second thing that you need to do is to stay focused, all right? We are planning to have it until 10 p.m. tonight, inshallah. So I hope that you can spare some time to give your 100% focus for tonight's session. And also, please be mindful of your language when interacting in the comment section. All right. Number four, please respect each other because we have teachers, we have JPN officers, PPD officers, students all around Malaysia joining us. So please show a very good attitude. And last but not least, I would really appreciate it if you can introduce yourself in the comment section. All right, this is because we can, interact through comments. So I would really like to know the name of the person and perhaps the school. Okay, the person's school, the student's school, yeah? All right, so let us look at the program for tonight. I have laid out 3 important programs. The first one, in blue, we are going to look at the tips and techniques of answering a poem question. All right. And the second program is to look at compilation of questions and suggested answers. We're not going to discuss everything, but we are just going to, I'm just going to give a general idea of what a suggested answer should be. And the third program, okay, by the end of our session, we will have a Q&A session. So if you have further questions, if you need any clarification, feel free to jot down in the comment section, and then we will select lucky comments to be shown through our YouTube channel and Facebook Live. Okay? All right. So now let us look at the tips and techniques for SPM 2020 candidates. Okay. The background information. My focus tonight is on poem question. All right. Poem question will be tested in paper 2. Are you aware of that? I hope you do, because SPM is just around the corner. And it will be tested under section D. Okay? The number of question is question number 32. And there are 5 marks allocated for this section. 5 marks. And it's very important for you to score 5 over 5. And although we have 5 marks, there is only there will be only 4 questions. Okay, so to illustrate further, okay, I know some of you need some kind of refreshment. Let us look at the sample of question paper. Does it ring a bell? Do you still remember this kind of question being tested in your examination? Here I have section D, question number 32. The poem tested is The Living Photograph. So you will be given a text, a poem text. So you're going to look at the text, you're going to read it, all right? And you are going to look at the question. So as you can see, we have 4 bullets, A, B, C, and D. This is what I meant by having only 4 questions. And if you look at the right-hand side, that is the number of marks. Okay? All right. This is just a sample, don't worry. we are going to discuss further later. So, to refresh your memory, what is a poem? Poem is a creative piece of writing to express ideas, experiences, and feelings in an imaginative manner. All right? Some people write poem to express their inner thoughts. So it's our job to learn the poem, the four poems, and then we have to know about the poem because we are going to answer the questions. Okay? A poem is often written in verse form. Okay? And it could be descriptive, narrative, abstract, or in any other types. Okay? So, do you still remember the poems that you have learned? Okay? When you were in Form 4, 2019, I hope your teacher have shared with you, have taught you the first poem, The Living Photograph by Jackie Kay. Do you still remember the poem? I hope yes. The second poem that you learned in Form 4 is The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Okay, quite a challenging poem, but we can learn so much from the write-up. Yeah. Last year, in 2020, you have also learned the poem What Has Happened to Lulu, written by Charles Causley. And the other poem is A Poison Tree by William Blake. So, as SPM 2020 candidates, you should have the general knowledge of all four poems. It should be in the back of your mind. And if it hasn't, I think you need to double up your effort. All right? So, before we discuss deeper about the poem, let us note some important things. Okay? If you have a pen and paper, this is a good time for you to start jotting down. Okay. When you are studying about a poem, you have to make sure that you know about the poet. The poet. The poet is the author or the writer of the creative writing. Why? Why do you need to know the poet? Well, by getting to know the poet, you will know about his or her origin, his family and education background. Those kinds of information would be helpful in, helping you to get to know the poet better. Okay, so when you have some free time later, try to Google William Blake, Charles Causley, Alfred Lord Tennyson, and also Jackie Kay. Get to know them. Learn about their background. Okay? The second thing that you need to note is the title of the poem. You know why? The title of the poem will help you in understanding the poem without having to read further. Some titles can really help to deepen your understanding about what is happening. Okay? So, why don't you go to school tomorrow? Discuss with your friends about the title. Why did the author put such a title for his or her poem? Discuss that. That will be a very, very good refresher. Okay? And the third one is for you to study the poem. You have to study the poem line by line, and you have to understand the meaning on the surface and the meaning of the poem in depth. You have to know the in and out of the poem. By studying the poem better, you will get to know the settings, the time setting, the place setting, and sometimes the society, the society of of what's happening when the poem was made. And it's also very good if you study the poem in depth because you will get to know the synopsis, the story behind the poem. And also, you will understand about the themes, the moral values that the author is trying to share to his or her reader, meaning all of you, the SPM 2020 candidates. Okay? So we have a lot of reading materials online. Use your devices wisely. You have time, you can study on your own. Okay? All right. Next up, you have to be familiar with all the words used. Okay? Try to study the poetic devices, try to study the language styles, because it will definitely help you to understand the poem better. Okay? You have to learn about the perhaps expressions used in the poem. Okay? Uh, and then understand literal and figurative meaning. Okay? So I'm sure you would like to know what is literal and figurative meaning. Okay, I'm going to explain further, all right, in the next slide. Okay, literal meaning. Okay, the definition is the basic or original meaning of the poem. Okay, I have said this just now. The meaning on the surface level. Okay, that is literal meaning. Okay, at one glance, what do you understand from the story? In Bahasa Melayu, we call it maksud tersurat, something that is, very easy for you to understand. Okay, figurative meaning is the deeper imaginative meaning of the poem. When you study the poem, when you learn about the themes, the moral values, the poetic devices, then only you will understand the deeper meaning better. In Bahasa Melayu, we call it maksud tersirat, the inner meaning of the poem. Okay? So, for example, the poem A Poison Tree. Okay? Literally, we understand that the poem is about a poisonous apple tree. That is what we get on the surface. But figuratively, it is actually talking about the relationship of two persons, the persona and his foe. So that is the figurative meaning. Okay? All right. So I know that you are already in the know about the marks allocation, but it's good if we refresh our memory. Okay, there are 5 marks allocated for this question. There will be three questions with 1 mark each. And there will be one question that will carry 2 marks. Okay, I will show you the structure. This is the structure of the question. I am sure all of you are very familiar. Okay? So you have to work your best to try to get 5 marks over 5 marks. And I hope you can do that. Okay? All right, so let's look at the type of question. For the first 3, A, B, and C, it tests about what you understand and what can you remember from the poem. Okay, so sometimes it asks about what the grandmother is wearing. You have that general idea already, so put your thoughts into words. Okay, a bit challenging part is the last part, the last question, because it requires some kind of thinking, higher order thinking skills. You have to think in order to get your mark. All right. So for the first 3 questions where you are required to remember the poems that you have learned, where you have to show your understanding, The questions are more direct. You will see operative words such as what, who, where, when, which, why, and how being used in the question. For example, I have 4 examples here. Okay, I'm not going to read every question. Okay, I'm just going to touch on 2. The rest you read on your own. Okay. What is the color of the grandmother's hair? This is the question for the poem The Living Photograph. So remember, it tests your understanding and your memory. Question number 2. How many soldiers were in the Light Brigade? So you can actually get the answers from the text itself. So that is why you have to study the poem. Okay? So you can read the rest of the question on your own. Yeah? And sometimes you are also required to provide your own answers based on the poem. Yeah, you don't have you cannot run away from it. Whatever it is, you have to tie it back to the poem. Okay. For example, you have to provide a word which means a certain meaning. All right. So make sure you only give one word. Do not give more than one word. I'll show you the sample later. A phrase. A phrase is a group of words that have meaning, that add meaning. Okay? So make sure you don't put the whole line because you are only required to write about a phrase. Okay? And the line. Okay? Please remember, copy the line to answer. Please copy the whole line in your answer. All right? Whatever you do, please refer to the question closely. Okay. Now, this is the example of the question, yeah, for the question which asks you to write about a word. Okay, let us look together. Which word tells us that the grandmother's body was spent? Okay, which word? So, you should write only one word. Please don't give more than that. Phrase. Which phrase means keeping the anger to himself? So remember, a phrase is a group of words. It's not the whole line. Okay? And for the question which requires to write about the line, yeah, which line suggests that the mother was crying? So remember to write the entire line in the answer section. Okay? In the space provided. Okay. Okay. Higher order thinking skills. I have told you just now that it requires to do a bit more of thinking. Okay, you don't have to worry. It is based on your analyzing skills and evaluating skills. For example, you have to analyze about the character. Okay, whether you agree with the action taken by the character, the persona in the poem. Okay, sometimes the question asks you to write about the characteristic. Okay, the characteristic of the grandmother. Okay, so remember to also provide a good reason. Sometimes you write about your emotion or your feeling about a certain thing, a certain situation, and also give your reason. That is testing your analyzing skill. The second skill that probably could be tested is your evaluating skill, where you analyze the situation and you provide your advice or your opinion, your suggestion, okay, towards a certain thing, and then provide a good reason. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to illustrate this section better in my slides later. Okay? All right, so remember, if you are with me tonight, you can interact with me in the comment section. Just remember to introduce yourself, your school's name, your name, so that I know who am I, interacting with. Okay, so I would also like to remind you that whenever you are providing answer for HOTS question, okay, here is the do and the don't. The do is to ensure you must make sure that you write in your own words. Okay, so try to write your own thoughts. Yeah, think about the answer and put it in your own words. And do not quote the line from the poem. Okay, some students, they like to do this because they have no idea of what to write. So this is not a good thing for you to do. You are actually supposed to think and provide your own answer. So hopefully after this you don't do that kind of action anymore. All right, put your own idea, your own thoughts. Okay. Okay, so I have one sample here. Okay, suggest 2 ways you can express your love towards the elderly people. Okay, so in these hot questions, you are required to provide 2 suggestions. Okay, how to show your love towards the elderly people. So you can read the suggested answer below. Okay, maybe you can write something like that. Okay, and provide a good reason. Okay, provide a good suggestion to ensure you will be awarded marks. Okay, another sample. This one from the Charge of the Light Brigade poem. How can we honor our soldiers today? To suggest 2 ways. Okay, so again, you have to read the question very carefully, underline important keywords. Okay, you have to provide 2 ways to honor the soldiers. If you look at my suggested answer, this is just my answer. Perhaps your own answer is more creative. Okay, let me know in the comments so that I can read it up later. Okay, but perhaps you want to reward the soldiers who have served in wars before with honorary medals. And maybe you would also you want to take part in the National Day celebration to show your love and to show your support to our soldiers. That's just my answer. I'm sure you can do better. Okay, this one, what has happened to Lulu? Asking about whether you agree or not with Lulu's decision to run away from home. If you agree, put your opinion there, whether it's a yes or it's a no. And don't forget to provide a good reason. Your reason should support your opinion. Okay, do not contradict yourself. Make sure you are in line with your own idea. Okay, so read the question and then think before you write. Another one, an advice that you would give to a person who has a misunderstanding with a friend. And then, of course, you have to give a reason, because we, your teachers, the examiners, we would like to know why. Why would you answer that? So tell us why. Okay? For example, here, the suggested answer is to ask him to discuss about the issue maturely. So we, the examiners, the teachers, we will look at your answer. And then we have to look at your reason as well. That valuable friendship can be mended again. So you would like for the friendship to be mended. Okay, sometimes it's a pity. It's a waste for you to throw away a good friendship just because of a small fight. So you convince us. You make us believe your answer. Okay? That is the purpose for you to give your reason. Okay. So I have compiled a few trial examination questions from the year 2020 and the years back. Okay, but I don't take it wholly. I will share with you the adapted version. Okay, so this is the part that you need to do your own jotting down of answers, you know. Okay. Um, so the compilation of questions and also suggested answers. Okay. This is how we are going to do. This is how it goes. Yeah. I'm going to show you a slideshow of the questions. Okay. And then perhaps I will give you 1 or 2 minutes to copy down and to try to answer the questions on your own. Okay. And then try to check your answer with my suggested answer. But again, that is my suggested answer. Okay. You may have a different opinion. You may have a different answer. It's okay. Why don't you share it with me so that I can read up later? Or maybe you can ask in the Q&A session at the end of our series later. Okay, I hope you're ready with your pen and paper. Let us look at Form 5 poem. And there are two. I'm going to look at the poem A Poison Tree by William Blake. Okay. Are you ready? I do hope you are ready. Okay. So this is the poem. So I'm going to try to recite the poem and then explain a little bit about the story behind the poem. All right? A Poison Tree by William Blake. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles, and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. So again, literally, this poem is titled A Poison Tree. On the surface, you might think that the persona is talking about a very poisonous apple tree, the one that caused the death of his foe. But figuratively, this poem is also discussing about the relationship between three people actually. Yeah, three people in a relationship. The persona has a problem with the friend, but they settle it, they talk about it, they discuss about it. So the problem is solved. The persona has a problem with the foe, the enemy, but the persona refuses to talk about it. And the persona keeps the anger inside until one day it exploded. Okay? So that is the general story of the poem A Poison Tree. I'm sure you have learned this poem before. Okay? So, among some important words that you have to take note, yeah? Stanza 1, line number 2, the word wrath, W-R-A-T-H. Okay? Do you know what is the synonym of the word wrath? Okay? Wrath is also synonymous with anger, resentment. Okay? So it's also good if you know the synonym of the keywords, yeah? Foe, the synonym for foe is enemy. Okay? So let us look at the question. Okay, adapted trial examination questions. Okay, this is adapted set. Okay, I have three sets to be discussed for each poem. So I do hope that we have enough time to, to do all of this. Okay, in stanza 1, let us look at the first question. What happened to the anger that is not resolved? The anger that is not resolved. Okay, you might want to highlight the keyword resolved. Okay, resolve is also synonymous with the word soft. Okay, so what happened to the anger, to the resentment that is not settled? Okay, so that is the first question. The second question, stanza 2, what did the persona do to get the trust from the foe? Okay, remember, each question specifies which stanza for you to look at. Okay, so for example, question number 2 requires you to search for the answer only in stanza number 2. So try your best not to deviate from the path you're supposed to go. Okay, you're supposed to go to stanza 2, find your answers there, so go there. Right. Number 3, in stanza 3, what does the word apple symbolize? This is a very good question. Literally, it is an apple, but figuratively, what is it? Maksud tersirat for apple. We have Po AC here saying that the anger is getting greater. Perhaps Po AC would like to answer question number 1. Okay, the anger, the wrath, the resentment is intensifying. It's getting bigger. You know, you feel angrier. Okay, so that's why it's good for you to always resolve your anger. Talk about it. Okay. In stanza 3, okay, we have discussed that. Stanza 4. I'm sorry, question number 4. This is the hot question. Let's pay attention to it. What would you do if you feel angry with someone? This is asking you for your opinion. What is the action for you to do when you feel angry with someone? Okay? So it's your personal opinion. Don't forget to provide a good reason. We need to know why you think like that. Okay, I saw a comment just now. Also, answering the first question, the anger grew bigger. Thank you, Joe Panda. May I know where you're from, Joe Panda? Okay, so perhaps Joe Panda also is answering about the first question. Okay, it's okay. All right, you have got the general idea. Now let us look at my suggested answer. You might have a different opinion. You might have a different answer. It's okay. All right. So let us look at. Okay, Farhan Azmi here commented, the word apple symbolizes hatred. So I think Farhan Azmi has answered question number 3 very, very correctly. Okay. The word apple symbolizes hatred. Hatred. Hatred is synonymous with hate. Okay. So that is how you answer it. Okay. So that is my suggested answer for question number 1. Okay. It's the same thing with what our friends have shared before in the comments. And then stanza 2. What did the persona do to get the trust from the foe? This is important. Okay. It's stated here in line. I would like to go back to the poem. Yeah. Stanza 2. And I watered it in fierce night and morning with my tears, and I sunned it with smiles and with soft deceitful wiles. So it answers this question. Yeah, the persona acted normally. He or she tried to act normal, and then he put on a fake smile. So he is very deceitful. He is not sincere. So that is how he tried to get the trust from the foe. Okay. And then number 4, I saw a comment just now, but I couldn't see. Okay, Ain Fatina. All right. I would tell them about it and try to solve it with them. Okay, that is to answer question number 4. Tell them about it and try to solve it. Okay, so perhaps the reason being is because you want to save a friendship. Okay, thank you, Ain Fatina. Okay, let's move on to our next set. Okay, uh, in stanza one, what happened when the anger is not expressed? It's the same thing as the question from the first set just now. Okay, number two, which word in stanza two has the same meaning as insincere? Okay, you can see. Uh, if you have an idea, you write in the comment section, and then we will read some answers. Okay. Number three, in stanza four, why did the persona feel relieved? Okay. Why did the persona feel very glad when the foe is outstretched under the tree? So, give a very good reason for that. Number four, what would you do if you have a misunderstanding with a friend? What would you do? Okay. Perhaps it's the same like just now. Okay. Let us look at the sample answer. Oh, we have a comment here from teacher Sufina. Okay, teacher Sufina Halim from SMK Mahsuri Langkawi. Thank you for joining us tonight. Teacher Sufina would like to confront the person because she wants to keep the friendship. Oh, that's so sweet and very noble of you, Teacher Sufina. Okay, that is something very good, and I would like to learn from you, inshallah. Okay, that answers question number four. Thank you so much, Teacher Sufina. Okay, let us look at question number three. Why did the persona feel relieved? Why did the persona feel happy seeing somebody dying, somebody being dead under the tree? Okay, maybe for the persona feels that the enemy fell into his trap and he has managed to trap his enemy. Okay, maybe he or she is happy because the enemy has died. Okay, so this is a poem. We are talking about a poem, so it's open to interpretation. Okay, Nasrul Nizam said he would like to confront and settle the problem with the person. Thank you, Nasrul Nizam. Okay, adapted trial examination questions 3. Okay, this one I'm going to let you answer on your own. Okay, you look at the question and then you try to answer on your own. Okay. Anger is held back. Remember, we're talking about the phrase here. Okay. Stanza 2, what did the persona do to nurture his anger? Okay, nurture meaning you want to, you want to keep on hating. All right. All right. Question number 3 is the same as the previous question. Question number 4. This is very good. Do you agree with the persona's feeling? Give a reason. Let us look at the sample answer. Yes, you can write whether you agree with the persona or whether you do not agree. Okay, you don't have to worry. It's your personal opinion, personal feeling. So as long as you give a good reason, then your answer will be accepted. For example here, if I say yes, I agree with the persona because the enemy is bad. So perhaps I'll be getting 1 mark because I have given a good reason to support. Maybe I would like to say no because we should forgive people. This is very good, a very noble thing to do. Okay, don't worry, it's your own opinion. Okay, let's move on to the second Form 5 poem. Okay, What Has Happened to Lulu by Charles Cosley. This is another interesting poem, very relatable to teenagers nowadays. Let us look at the poem. Okay, it's quite small. Okay, but I will recite the poem to you. What has happened to Lulu, mother? What has happened to Lu? There's nothing in her bed but an old rag doll, and by its side a shoe. Why is her window wide, mother? The curtain flapping free, and only a circle on the dusty shelf where her money box used to be. Why do you turn your head, mother? And why do the teardrops fall? And why do you crumple that note on the fire and say it is nothing at all? I woke to voices late at night. I heard an engine roar. Why do you tell me the things I heard were a dream and nothing more? I heard somebody cry, mother, in anger and in pain. But now I ask you, why, mother? You say it was a gust of rain. Why do you wander about as though you don't know what to do? What has happened to Lulu, mother? What has happened to Lulu? Okay, let us look at the first set. Okay, in stanza 1, what item can be seen on Lulu's bed? Okay, so we are moving on to what has happened to Lulu now. So can you tell me what can be seen on Lulu's bed on the night of her disappearance? Okay, try to answer this on your own. Question number 2. In stanza 3, why did the persona's mother turn her head? So it's asking about your understanding. What do you understand when the persona's mother turned her head? So provide your answer. Okay, in stanza 4, which line means that Lulu left with a car? Very easy. You just have to write down the line. Okay, let us look at the suggested answers. Okay, okay, you can read the suggested answer for question number 1. And for number 2, the mother turned her head because she wanted to hide her emotion. Okay, she doesn't want the persona to see her crying. Line question number 3, I heard an engine roar. That answers question number 3. And number 4. All right, very good. East channel. Thank you, Izol from Langkawi. Thank you for joining. All right, number 4. What can you do when a family member has run away from home? Definitely, you know, you would lodge a police report. You would report the case to the police, okay? Because you want to find your sibling, your family member as soon as possible. Thank you, Mazina Mustafa, for answering question number 2 very correctly. Okay, very good. Okay, let's move on to Nasrul Nizam said, I would let them cool down first and then finally try to contact them because he has no time for this drama. Wow, Nasrul. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Let us look at set number 2 in stanza 1. Why is only a shoe seen on Lulu's bed? Why is there only one side of a shoe? Why not both shoes? Okay, I'm sure you know why. I'm sure you know why. Okay, share with me the answers. Number 2, the meaning of the line, the curtain flapping free. I like this question very much. You can answer it literally or figuratively. Okay? Number 3, in stanza 2, what did Lulu take from her room? It's very easy. Question number 1, 2, 3 is always very direct, always easy. It tests whatever you remember and your understanding of the poem. Okay? And question number 4, this is a very good question. Many teenagers run away from home to avoid personal issues. What could be the issues? Let us look at the suggested answer. Okay, family problems. Sometimes they are scammed by people. They are tricked by someone to leave their home. Peer pressure. Eloping. Do you know what the meaning of the word eloping is? Eloping is you run away with someone to get married without the approval of your family members. Okay, and then some teenagers, they want freedom. So they simply run away from home. Have you ever tried to run away from home before? I hope you do not do that. Okay, your parents will be worried. Okay. All right, let's look at the last one. This is a very good question. Okay, let's just look at the suggested answer. Number 1, what is the relationship between Lulu and the persona? Lulu is the sister. So the persona and Lulu, they are siblings. They are related. Yeah, siblings. It could be a brother and a sister. The persona could be a male child, a boy. And they could be sisters. Yeah, both of them could be females. Why do you think Lulu left her mother a note? Yeah, this is a very interesting question. Sometimes you want to leave a note behind because you want to explain the reason why you do a certain thing. So perhaps that is the same with what Lulu did. Yeah, she left a note to let her mother know that she has left. Number five, the mother tried to hide the truth. So that is why the mother kept on giving excuses, unreasonable reasons to the persona. It makes the persona very, very confused. Okay, number four, what advice would you give to teenagers who want to run away from home? If you know someone who would like to do such thing, okay, advise him or her to be more patient. Okay, the reason being, okay, you support. Why? Why do we have to be more patient? Our parents know what is best for us. Okay, this is my example. This is my answer. Okay, Ain Fatina says she wants to try to talk it out with her parents. Okay, the reason being to avoid bigger issues. Yeah, maybe if she runs away, something bad will happen to her. Okay, thank you, Irdina Rohiman. Okay, she would also want to be more considerate because it will hurt people to know if she left the house. Okay, let us look at The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Okay, it has three stanzas. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward, all in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply, theirs not to reason why, theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Okay? Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon in front of them. Volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell. Boldly they rode and well, into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600. Okay, so trial examination question number one, the first set. Okay, in stanza one, which phrase suggests the attack on the enemies? Which group of words tell you that an attack has been made? Okay, share your answers in the comments. Okay, question number two, the soldiers realized the commander, the leader, had made a mistake. But why did the soldiers still follow the orders? Okay, let us look at the suggested answers. Okay, can you read the suggested answers here? Okay, the phrase, number one, yeah, the phrase that suggests the attack on the enemies, charge. Okay, charge for the guns, yeah. I'm so sorry, there's been a spelling mistake here. Charge for the guns, yeah. In stanza two, okay, why did the soldiers still follow the order, although it was a blunder? Yeah, because soldiers are loyal, okay? They are there to serve the nation, okay? They are disciplined to follow orders. Thank you, Nasrul Nizam, okay? All right, question number three. What do you think the soldiers feel when they enter the jaws of death? Put yourself in the soldier's shoes, okay? I think you would be scared, you would be terrified, you would feel anxious because you might lose your own life. So put yourself in the soldier's situation, then that is how you answer this question number three. And number four, if you are the leader who had made such a blunder, what would you do to correct the mistake? Okay, what would you do when you realize that it was a mistake? Okay, try to give a positive answer. I would admit my mistake. Wow, very noble. Yeah, trying to admit my mistake, it can save life. Okay, maybe if they do not take that kind of action, not many soldiers would be defeated, would be dead on the battlefield on that day. Okay. Let us look at set number 2. Okay, have a look. In stanza 1, what were the soldiers instructed to do? You go back to stanza 1, find your answers over there. Okay. Number 2, who is he being referred to? Okay, the pronouns in the poem. He is referred to the commander or the leader. Okay. In stanza 3, what can you tell about the characteristic of the soldiers? Okay. The soldiers are very brave, they are loyal. Okay. And question number 4 is very, very nice. War has many side effects. State 2. Give 2 side effects in order for you to get 2 marks. Okay. All right, let us look at the suggested answers. Okay. Okay, the soldiers were instructed to charge for the guns, or to move forward, or to attack. Okay. Oriwa Rizal Nazrin, thank you for sharing your answer. Okay. He is referring to the captain, the commander, the leader. Okay, I'm sure you know. Number 3, I have answered just now. Okay, number 4, destruction of property. Okay, when war happens, you know, buildings will be demolished. Okay, destruction of buildings, loss of lives, food shortage, economic downturn. Okay, economic downturn is the same thing that's been happening to Malaysia right now. We are facing the threat of COVID-19. Okay, our economy is, you know, barely surviving. So that's the same thing with war. We are actually fighting the war with a virus. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Azham. Are you having some problem?
Yes.
Because we cannot see your face right now.
Yes. Can they hear me now?
Yeah, of course they can still hear you.
All
So I will
right.
change the
Okay.
screen so that they
All
can
right.
only see the screen, okay? All
Okay.
right.
All right. So thank you for still bearing with me. I'm having some kind of technical problem at the moment. Yeah, my camera is not cooperating. Okay, but it's okay. What's important is the presentation for today. All right, you can still hear my voice, and that is very good. Okay. Let's move on to trial examination questions number 3. In stanza 1, which phrase is used to show distance? Okay, so you can try to answer this. Okay, why don't you look at question number 3 while I try to sort out my technical problem at the moment. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, while we wait for Mr. Azham to be right back, why don't you write the answer for question number 1? In stanza 1, which phrase is used to show distance? Okay, phrase. What is the meaning of phrase? Phrase are words. Words, but not just one word. It's more than one word. It's more than one word, but it's not a complete sentence. Question number 2, in stanza 2, which word? Okay, it says which word. That means just one word is used to say a mistake was made. So which word is that? Okay, I see a very good answer here. Blended. Very good, Farhan Azmi. All right. So in question number 3, in stanza 3, why do you think the soldiers did not make a reply? Okay, answer that one. Why do you think the soldiers did not make a reply? There must be a reason why. Okay. And the last question, this is definitely a hot question, higher order thinking skill. You can give your own opinion. In the war, the only solution to end conflict is the war. Is war the only solution to end conflicts? Give two reasons. Okay, is war yes or no? All right, that's good. Mr. Azham is here. Now I'm going to let Mr. Azham control the screen after I've taken over for a while, trying to be Mr. Azham. All right. Okay,
Hello,
give
hello,
the screen
Teacher
to you.
Jamie.
Hello. Yeah, all right, all right.
Hello. Hello, Teacher Jamie.
All right, yes.
Hi.
Okay, you just
Okay.
take over. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much to Teacher Jamie for taking over. Yeah. We have to understand that in this new normal, yeah, things like this are bound to happen, but we try our best to rectify the issue. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you, Teacher Jamie, for helping me on the spot. You are the best. Okay. All right. So let us look at the suggested answer. The phrase used to show distance, half a league. Half a league is the olden days measurement, which in modern day right now, it's about approximately two, half a league is approximately 2.5 kilometers. Okay. All right. The word blunted. The word blunted is used to say a mistake was made. Yeah, I have used this word before. In stanza number 3, why do you think the soldiers did not make a reply? Again, yeah, talk about the loyalty of the soldiers. Okay, soldiers have to obey the command given by the leader. Okay, all right. Joe Panda, thank you. It's their duty as a soldier to obey to the commander. Thank you. I know Shazani as well. Okay. Is war the only solution to end conflict? Give two reasons. Reason number 1, no. Many lives will be lost, destruction of property, the same thing that we have discussed earlier. Okay. Okay. So yes, definitely Izul, yeah, we have many other ways to solve conflicts. The right thing to do is to discuss, to talk about it. Okay. Okay. For the last poem section, The Living Photograph by Jackie K. All right. Let us look at this poem. Yeah. Another interesting poem. My small grandmother is tall there, straight back, white broderie anglais shirt, pleated skirt, flat shoes, grey bun. A kind old smile round the eyes. Her big hand holds mine. White hand in black hand. Her sharp blue eyes look her own death in the eye. It was true after all, that look. My tall grandmother became small. Her back round and hunched. Her soup forgot to boil. She went to the awful place grandmothers go, somewhere unknown, unthinkable. But there she is still, in the photo with me at 3. The crinkled smile is still living, breathing. Okay, this is an easy poem for you to study. It talks about the love between a grandmother and a grandchild, and how the grandchild always think about the grandmother. Okay, so let us try to look at the trial examination question number 1, set number 1. In stanza 1, why do you think the grandmother was a loving person? Okay, The evidence is given in stanza number 1. In stanza 2, her soup forgot to boil. What does this tell you about the grandmother? Okay. It's very easy. Yeah, this poem is very easy. Number 3, in stanza 2, which phrase means an unpleasant situation? Something very, not, you are in a very, you don't like the situation you are in. Okay. Number 4, what is the emotion expressed by the persona in stanza number 3? Okay. If you go back to the poem, you look at stanza number 3, try to think about the emotion expressed and why. Why do you think so? Okay. Let us look at the answers. The grandmother was a loving person. Okay. Perhaps you want to write down that the proof is when the grandmother held the persona's hand. Okay, do you remember that white hand in black hand phrase being mentioned in the first stanza? So that shows love, okay? And she smiled at the persona as well. So smile, you smile to someone to show that you like someone. Okay? Number 2, in stanza 2, okay, she started to forget things. She became forgetful. And towards the end, she became senile. Okay? All right. Okay? Oh, stanza 2, which phrase, okay, means an unpleasant situation? The awful place. Yeah, somewhere that is not very nice. Adriana Haiti said that the grandmother has amnesia. Amnesia, forgetfulness, being senile, okay, could be the answer. Okay. Number 4, she actually missed her grandmother. So that is why she tried to reminisce their good times together. Okay, that is how you answer question number 4 for the action and give a solid reason to support your opinion. Okay, let us look at the second set. What was the grandmother wearing? Okay, there are a lot of descriptions of what the grandmother was wearing in the photo. So pick one, only one description because it is only a 1 mark question. Number 2, what was happening to the grandmother in stanza number 2? She started to become, okay, you can talk about the physical changes. Her body became hunched. That is the physical change. You can talk about the mental stage as well. Okay, she has started to become senile, forgetful. That is talking about the mental condition. Yeah, the mental stage, the memory loss and whatsoever. Okay. Number 3, the crinkled smile. The crinkled smile is referred to. Okay. And number 4, I like it. Can you please write your comments? Would you send your family members to an old folks home? Explain the reason for your choice. Okay. In Malaysia, not many people actually send their parents or elderly family members to old folks homes. But in other countries, it's something very normal. Okay. But what do you feel? Okay. So you can look at the answer for question number 1, for question number 2, and question number 3. But I'm waiting for your answers for question number 4. Okay. Izul said that no, he does not agree because it is our responsibility to take care of our elderly or old folks. Okay, elderly family members. Okay, thank you, Izul. Very good. Okay. Lasya said no, because we have to repay their sacrifices. That is a very good answer. Yeah, you have to take care of them when they are sick and when they are old. Okay. Amanda Sophia, Okay. Oh, you want to spend more time with them while they are still alive. That's very good. Okay. Thank you for your responses. Okay, Neil, thank you so much. Let us look at the last set of question. Okay, thank you, Elson. Elson Lau Ziyong, thank you. All right, in stanza 1. Okay, we have a Teacher Sufina said she would not send them to an old folks home because um, she feels the need to take good care of her elderly parents. Yeah, very good, Madam Sufina. Hazel Xiao, thank you. She doesn't agree because she wants to show appreciation to the parents. Okay, let's move on to question number 3, set number 3. Okay, in stanza 1, which phrase shows the difference between the persona and the grandmother? Yes. Okay, Muhammad Danish said, white hand in black hand. That is the phrase that shows different racial background. Okay, white hand in black hand, different racial background. Okay, Sharifah Shifa also said the same thing. Thank you. Number 2. Okay, we have discussed question number 2 over and over. Number 3. Which line shows that the grandmother is remembered? Okay, remembering your grandmother. And number 4, showing your love towards your grandmother and then give support. Let's look at the sample answers. Okay. All right, so I do hope that I have helped you in terms of, answering poem question. I have shared with you the types of question. Question number 1, 2, and 3 is always more direct, related to the poem, testing your understanding and your knowledge about the poem. And then question number 4 is a bit tricky. You have to do a bit of thinking. So you have to provide reason for your answers, or sometimes you have to provide 2 suggestions or 2 actions. Okay, so we have come to the third program for tonight, which is the Q&A session. So if you have anything to ask, please feel free to share with us. Okay, Nasrul Nizam, thank you for joining us tonight. And Aiman Chap. Okay, Aiman Chap has a question. Is the white hand referring to the grandmother? What do you think? Who has the black hand and who has the white hand? Okay, so Aiman, what do you think? White hand in black hand. Okay, we have several kinds of interpretation. Okay, in many books that I have referred to, white hand in black hand, it's usually referred to the grandmother. Okay, white hand in black hand, because the grandmother, remember, the grandmother has blue eyes. So that is one definite answer, that white hand refers to the grandmother. Okay, next question. Okay, perhaps we can bring teacher Jamie in. Teacher Jamie, do we have any questions from the session tonight?
Let's see. We're still looking for question. Grandmother has the black hand. Am I right? Another person is asking the same question. So if I may add, because I've read the short biography about Jackie K, and
Yes.
indeed Jackie K is colored. That's what it is
Yes.
saying. So
Mhm.
that means I think it's quite accurate to say that the white hand is grandmother's hand, and that's
Yes.
why this poem really shows that the grandmother really loved the persona, because the persona is of different color. So it shows like love really goes beyond color. Okay. All right. Okay, do you have any more question? Let's
Definitely.
Okay, please write your question in the comment box so that Mr. Azham can answer it. We have around 10 minutes to do that. Yeah. Okay, now, Mr. Azham, if we don't have any, okay, now that's one more question by Elia Ilyas. Can we answer yes or no for the same question? I think the person is asking if we can answer negatively. Can we do that, Mr. Azham? Mr. Azham, are you okay? Oh, we just lost Mr. Azham's connection. So now it's left with me. So I think I can try to answer that. Okay, because I'm also an SPM marker. And actually, yes, you can answer, you can give negative and also positive answer. I mean, you don't have to agree every time. You don't have to say the yes all the time. Like, for example, should the soldiers follow the commander's command? You don't have to say yes all the time. You can answer no and also yes. Okay. Now we'll just wait for Mr. Azham for a while. I hope he will uh, get back on this. If no, it'll be very strange for me. I'm not. I'm just supposed to be a host. I'm not supposed to be a presenter, right? Okay, I think he's back. All
Yeah.
right, Mr. Ram, you just left me on my own.
Uh, commercial break.
Making-
Yeah.
yeah, making me a presenter. Luckily, I can answer the question. All right. Okay. Okay,
That's
that's the
why you're the
question for
best.
you.
Okay, helping each other out. Yeah. Thank you so much, Madam Jamie.
All right.
Okay. So, any
This is
other
a good
questions?
question. This is a good question. If there is one grammar error in my answer, can I still get more?
Oh, okay. Um, if there is one grammar error in your answer, uh, but the message comes through, the examiner can understand what you want to what you want to say, then definitely you will get an answer. Okay, don't worry about your grammar. Okay, I'm not supposed to say more, but just know that you are in good hands.
Okay. Sure. That's right. I'm sure. Yes, sure. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Very sure. As long as your message is delivered, yes.
Don't leave it blank. Try to answer anything. Okay, as long as it makes sense.
Okay. Do we have time to answer more questions, Mr. Azham? Yes.
Uh, all right. If you have further questions, then this live session will remain in our YouTube channel, Delta Kedah YouTube channel. So write your questions over there, and I will try to answer uh, at some other time. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
We have one question by Madam Aida Kames. Thank you so much. It's the same question like just our participant just now, Nasrul, right? Nasrul Nizam.
Yeah.
Okay, what about a spelling mistake? Will marks be rewarded? Okay, as long as your message comes through, then you will get something in return. Okay?
Okay. I
Rajul
No, that's this good question because you see just now when you were giving one example, there's this question you have to answer the reasons. So the student wants to know if you can answer. You give one reason no, and another reason yes. I mean mix. So the stand, she doesn't have the stand. She was just like yes and then no. Can you mix your answer like that?
Okay, in my personal opinion, it's better for you to stick to one side of your thoughts and your opinion. Okay, try to make sure that your thoughts and your idea are in line. Okay, if you want to say no in the first part, then make sure that the second part is also agreeing to the answer, or else you will not get a full 2 marks. You will just get only like one marks. Okay, if you're lucky. Limitation number of words for phrase. Hasniza Kasim ask. Hmm. Try to look for 2 to 3 or 4 group of words. Yeah, it will not be a full line, just a phrase. Yeah, don't give a whole line. Okay,
That's true.
all right.
I think do you have more questions, or maybe we can just answer the question later in the
Yes,
comment
all right.
box. Okay.
Yeah, because we are running.
Right.
We are ending now.
Okay, like
Okay.
Mr. Zanuddin is saying now, yeah, make sure there are no serious errors that would distort the meaning of your
Yeah.
answer. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr.
Make sure.
Azham, yeah,
Yes.
there was indeed a structured, well organized, and in depth discussion on all the 4 poems which may come out in SPM. Okay, we hope the points highlighted by Mr. Azham just now will help students in answering all the Section B poem questions after this.
Inshallah.
Okay, all right. Okay, before we end this slot, just a reminder to all of you, the YouTube link will continue to be here in Delta's YouTube channel. So please share it and you can still watch it later. And if your friends happen to miss it tonight, you can still give them the link and they can still watch it. All right. And also, the PowerPoint slide will be given by Mr. Azham later in the comment box. Okay, we will try to pin it, right? And then so that you can get your hands on the PowerPoint slide today. So there's nothing to hide anymore, and there's nothing for us to lose if we give away the PowerPoint presentation tonight, because this is the last year that we'll be answering this pattern of question. Next year, it will be all different question because we'll be answering like KSSM style. All right, Mr. Azham, before we end this session, would you like to say anything to your
Okay.
viewers?
Thank you so much for bearing with me. All right. Technical things out of my control, but you are still here. You're the best, and I do hope that you will excel in XPM 2020. Okay. Teacher Jamie, thank you for being such an amazing host. Okay.
Thank you.
And I would also like to remind our viewers about our next series. Yeah, tomorrow we have series 2 with Mr. Hafizuddin bin Yahya, SMK Datuk Said Ahmad. Tips for novel responses. Be sure to tune in. 15 marks for your paper 2 is here. All right. And then on Thursday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah, thank you. On Wednesday, we have series 3 with Madam Zuraiza Abdul Hamid from SMK Tunku Sulong, The Secrets for Better Essay. Okay, tune in as well to learn the tips and the tricks on how to excel in essay writing. The last series for this season, Chewa. Okay, we have
Our own
Mr.
Sifu,
Zanurin.
our very own Sifu,
Yes,
yeah, Mr.
okay.
Zanurin, the
Our own
president of
Sifu,
Delta, yeah.
Mr. Zanurin bin Muhammad Safa, SMK Sultan Badli Shah Kulim. Okay, join his session on Thursday night for to improve your quality, to improve your English language quality in essay writing. Okay, and before I leave, Madam Teacher Jamie, I would like to acknowledge Darul Aman English Language Learning and Teaching Association. Thank you once again for giving me the chance to share with SPM candidates 2020. And I would also like to credit my producer for tonight. Okay, Teacher Jamie, or known as Wan Hasniza binti Osman, from SMK Kalibang Langkawi. Thank you so much for being a good sport, and then
Okay.
assisted by other technical members. Okay, and last but not least, stay at home. Let us try our best to fight the war of COVID-19 together. Flatten the curve. Okay,
All
back to
right.
you.
Okay. Yeah. Like you were saying just now, don't forget to tune in into Delta's YouTube channel again for tomorrow I'm sure it's easy for you to just press the subscribe button now. We're not trying to be a YouTuber, but we're just trying to help you so that you don't forget to follow our slot for this final countdown before SPM, because you'll never know what we discuss here. It might come out in the SPM paper this year, right? Okay, so before we end our session, I would like to thank Delta as well for giving me the opportunity to host this program, this event for this evening. It's late, okay, but it's fun. All right. So I hope all the Form 5 students who are with us today, you will try your best in the SPM. Stay safe, stay at home, wear your mask, and don't go jalan-jalan if you don't have anything, important to do. Okay. That's all from us tonight. Thank you, Delta. Thank you, everyone, for watching us. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Bye.
Bye
Peace.
bye. Take care.